are the best ways to combat depression? How do we do this from multiple angles and increase our chances for success? I was inspired this week by a story on CNN about a man named Kevin Curry. Kevin Curry is a Southerner, Southern United States, who was overweight, highly depressed, and had great faith in God and prayed to God to take away his depression. Everyone else felt happy, he said. The sun was shining, the birds were singing, they wanted to be outside. He just wanted to crawl under his covers and die. He lost his job, he lost his girlfriend, and at a certain point, life just didn't seem worth living anymore. And so he had a plan to take his life, and he did research on the best ways to cut himself, to slit his wrist, to make sure that he would actually die from it. And he made marks with a Sharpie on his arm for exactly where to do it. He got a phone call from his therapist who said, "I was thinking of you. Could we do a session tomorrow? Could you come in tomorrow and talk to me?" And he says, "Okay." He said, "I was going to have a last meal with one of my best friends, not tell them that I was going to kill myself, but I decided to stall that and go see my therapist." And the therapist noticed on his arm the Sharpie marks and asked him what those were, and he broke down crying and explained, "This is where I'm going to cut my wrists and take my life." And he says until then he had kind of a superficial relationship with his therapist. They hadn't gone very deep, but here they talked about his spirituality, they talked about his depression, they talked about his history. He felt this real bond and connection. And his therapist said to him, "Listen, if you had a cold, wouldn't you go down to the CVC, go down to the pharmacy and get some meds or get some help to deal with your cold?" And he says, "Yeah, absolutely." She says, "So why not for your depression?" He'd been seeing her for therapy, but didn't really describe what he was going through. And she says, "You can make some changes and take some things to help with your depression." So for him, in his case, antidepressants were part of the solution. But she says, "There's nothing wrong with you or your faith." And he decided he was going to take it one step further. What help can I get, and how can I help myself? He decided he didn't just want to feel better, he wanted to look better, and that those two meshed. And so he started exercising 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, and he wasn't seeing much change in his physique. And he says, you can't out-train a poor diet. And so he got really, really into studying about nutrition, how to cook healthily, how to do meal prep, and he started something called Fit Men Cook, which you can look that up. We'll leave a link in the description to Fit Men Cook, where he started looking up recipes and learning how to cook and to prepare, because he didn't want to sacrifice. As a Southerner, he was used to comfort food. He was used to these really delicious flavors, and he didn't want to sacrifice flavor to eat healthy, so he got immersed in how to cook healthy and still have delicious flavors and delicious foods. But he found that in exercising regularly, in changing his diet and nutrition, and in his case, there were antidepressants involved, but he says what really got him over the hump, these changes that he made physically for himself, and that he felt happy again, and he felt hopeful, and he felt energetic, and he felt optimistic. Now, he gives in this article 6 keys to combating depression. The first is to self-identify the signs of depression and seek help. And I want to tell you what the signs of depression are. If you feel consistently hopeless, helpless, worthless, if you cry easily and it's hard to stop, if you are irritable, if you have thoughts or ideas or plans to hurt yourself or kill yourself, if you have a hard time getting out of bed, taking a shower, performing daily tasks, if you're constantly in a state of overwhelm, you don't need to have all of these symptoms. So if you've lost interest in things that you used to find enjoyable, these are signs of clinical depression. Get help. There's no shame in it. It's not a sign of weakness that you have it. It's a sign that your brain and your body are out of balance. Life stressors are getting to you. Get help.
I'm swaddling you. I know what you're doing. I'm swaddling you. I know what you... Come here.
The second thing he says is to make meals simple. He says stock up on foods that don't take much effort to prepare, like eggs, yogurt, canned tuna. And he says find one nutritious recipe to cook each week. And the big reason for that is, he says, it feeds your soul to find new recipes. It keeps you excited. It keeps you, researching and looking and moving forward. And he says it's just exciting to not settle into pure routine, but to tantalize your taste buds, as it were, right? And he says, do a social media check, and I love this. He says, unfollow any feeds that make you feel negative. Unfollow any feeds on social media that make you feel negative.
You gotta be kidding me.
Wow.
You realize how many people have read this? I'm up to 2,000 followers since last night.
You're trending, bro.
They're sending me messages. They're goading me into responding.
Don't do that.
Don't do it, man. Don't respond. Don't do
Half
it.
the
Take the
people
high
listen.
road.
Set a fitness goal that works with your diet, as well as, I would add, your schedule and the other things you have going on.
Come on! Now! Reach out! And stretch! Yeah!
And last, be kind to yourself. And this is crucial. With depression comes a rush of negative thoughts, negative self-beliefs, and oftentimes the cruelest person to you is you. And the only way to turn it around is to start with being kind to yourself. And people say, I don't know how to be kind to myself. Okay, what would you do to be kind to others? Would you take them out to dinner? Would you listen to them as they talk about their problems? Oftentimes we brush our problems away because we got other things to focus on. If someone needed kindness, would you serve them? Would you make time for them? Would you help them? Would you make them laugh or have them take a break? Can you do these things for yourself? Be kind to yourself.
You gonna look good after this, man.
Thanks, man.
So ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Folks, depression is real. Anyone who tells you it's not a real thing or pull yourself up by your bootstraps or it's all in your head doesn't know what they're talking about. It is real, it is overwhelming, it is debilitating, but you can combat it, you can fight it, you can have a better life. The link between mind and body is strong. The research supporting better nutrition, exercise, and rest to combat depression is ironclad. Take care of yourself and see what it does for you. So I'm licensed therapist Jonathan Decker, co-founder of Mended Light, reacting to the news, and we'll see you next time.